As far as Henrik Andersson goes, we have no idea what he's playing. But I think he's more of a control-ish player. We'll soon find out, I assume.
I couldn't really tell from the few cards. Maybe a swamp, maybe an island. And, well, there we go.
I think we are either in Esper territory or maybe in black and white territory. And, or maybe mono black. Maybe it's the mirror.
There is a swamp at least.
There's a swamp.
And there's
another Scryland.
So it's possible still that it's Esper.
Yeah, or maybe I should just stop making predictions.
No. That's why we're here.
Yeah. And blue-black Scryland. And that's a Night View Spectre, turn 3.
So it's likely a use of black devotion.
Yeah.
It actually looks like
It actually looks like
Jonathan is playing Esper.
Jonathan is playing Esper.
So
it seems like we were misinformed.
We've been working with bad information here.
Yeah. And well, on the other hand, we are facing a control on Black Devotion matchup, just the other way around.
Yeah.
Jonathan has been very, very happy with the Scrylands so far. He's been trying out the deck slightly on Magic Online, and he's like lyrical every time he plays them.
A quick detention sphere here for air bosses seems inevitable.
Yeah,
and definitely wanted for Jonathan.
We can't have other people drawing cards,
no.
Says Jonathan. And down comes Bloodburn of Viscopa, which might be a little troublesome.
There are plenty of answers. There's
yeah.
still Devour Flesh and Far Away, so...
Yeah, and Elspeth, which was the card that Jonathan drew, that he kept on top with the Scryland. Taking 4, going down to 16.
No play from Henrik here. It's not that great.
Yeah. Signature Revelation for 2.
It looks like he has some Hero's Downfall in hand.
Yeah.
Probably some more removal, so...
He's just looking for the second white land to be able to just slam that Elspeth down so he can get rid of the Bloodburn. That's what I'm thinking. We should be aware, though, that Elspeth is actually one of the 3 win conditions that Jonathan has in the deck. So he might not want to expose it to, for instance, a Hero's Downfall from Henrik.
He can still. He still has plenty of answers to the Blood Baron, so he doesn't really have to aggro out Elspeth without protection if he feels like he wants to protect it more.
And also he has another Sphinx's Revelation in hand, so it's not like he is in dire straits for...
The thing with the Blood Baron that sure he gets bigger and meaner with time, but if he still needs Jonathan to be down at 10 life or less, and like we were talking about earlier about he seems like to be arranging his Supreme Verdict mana.
Yeah,
and there we go.
Yeah,
there's no need to waste an Elspeth. To get rid of the Blood Baron.
Yeah. Jonathan happily taking 2 here to be able to represent some kind of counter mana. Dissolve mana. More specifically, more likely. See to the left of Jonathan's hand, he has a Sphinx's Revelation and a Detention Sphere as well.
I think it's an ultimate price.
Yeah. You can draw that land next turn. Desecration even. That dies to the ultimate price in hand for Jonathan just fine.
Most likely.
So maybe Jonathan in the business of a Sphinx's Revelation for 3 here. Because he doesn't seem to have a land here. So leaving a black land untapped. So he might draw land to play the ultimate price. Or just play the ultimate price straight up. Figuring that he will probably draw lands eventually. Nightfield Spectre again. There's another land. Hallowed Fountain comes into play tapped.
Detention Sphere for the Spectre.
Comes into play untapped.
Jonathan is in very good position here to just keep the threats off the board and just taking random damage from Mutavault. He can live with that for sure.
Yeah.
And just wait it out for a big revelation and then just use whatever he feels like more or less to just kill Henrik off.
Yeah. Now Jonathan drew a Jace as well. So if he feels that Mutavault becomes a bother, he can just start +1ing Jace.
Yeah. You could even use Jace to sort of bait out a Hero's Downfall.
Yeah.
But here we go with the Revelation.
I will draw 5. How does that sound? That's fine, Henrik says. Don't like the gaining 5 though. Actually, I don't think it's fine with Jonathan drawing 5 either.
I'm drawing 5 we're gaining?
Mutavaults in pairs.
He could possibly also get to a point where he can play both Jace and Elspeth.
Yeah.
Just plus them both. To put Henrik in a very awkward position.
Yeah.
Where, there we go.
Here we go, go.
There's one card left in hand for Henrik here, so
yeah.
Syncopate is definitely well placed.
Yeah.
So it gets pretty awkward now that even with the double attack from the Mutavaults on whatever, the other thing is double block one and block the other, and still come up winning with having Elspeth left.
Yeah.
Or he could even just let the Mutavaults, if they beat on Elspeth, just take it on Elspeth, just keep plussing her after that.
Yeah.
There's no way that Henrik can handle all the soldiers. So he needs a hard answer for Elspeth.
Yeah.
Looks like he has
a whip here though.
A whip and a Devour Flesh in hand.
So the demon might be...
Could bring out the demon.
No, not the demon, but he needs the Viscopa, because the demon gets tapped by a soldier token.
Oh, that's true.
But
the Viscopa still beats Elspeth down to 1.
Yeah,
So
because
that's
Jonathan
really
is at 11 instead of 10.
Yeah. That is interesting.
Yeah, Nitro Spectre.
Just bring out the Nitro Spectre, let it hit in on Jonathan, grab a card, hopefully something that he can play. I'm not sure if he played a land yet this turn, or even just grabbing whatever that Jonathan won't be able to play or draw. Like a syncope here for Jonathan would have been good.
Yeah.
Definitely put him in a better position.
What Henrik doesn't know is that Jonathan has drawn his third Sphinx's Revelation, I think.
Oh. Yeah, just chaining Sphinx's Revelation in this format is still as good as it was before.
Yeah.
Even better maybe with the slower format as such.
Yeah. Also, he has a removal for the Baron here, for the Demon here, so it doesn't really matter. It's all over except for the shouting.
Removal for Demon?
Yeah, he has a Hero's Downfall in hand.
But that doesn't matter since he could still just tap the Demon.
Yeah,
so it's the Blood Baron.
Yeah, blood. That's the issue.
But I would just need a Devour Flesh. So I guess now he would have to have an answer to the Blood Baron.
Yeah, let's find out what happens. Blood Baron. I am an 8/8, he says.
But he won't be for very much longer.
No.
Since Jonathan will gain himself some life. He just goes all in for it.
Yeah.
7 cards, 7 life, take 4, and this game is more or less in the books at this point.
Yeah. That's actually one of the puniest Devour Flesh I've ever seen in anyone's hand.
The one in Henrik's hand?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very impressive. Might we see an
emblem?
Emblem?
Yeah.
I think
I don't see why not.
I think it's 8 to make the emblem.
Isn't it 7? I think it's 7.
But an emblem here is just it's just incredibly silly. On the pre-release I had Elspeth.
Oh.
And
so what did you win?
I only won 1 game.
Okay.
And 1 duel in the 3rd round with Elspeth, where it's just so silly to play it on turn 6, make 3 guys, make 3 guys, make 3 guys, make 3 guys, hit you for a billion.
Yeah.
It's just. It is a very powerful card for sure, especially in limited. But even in constructed here, as we see that it's such a resilient card since it protects itself so well.
Yeah.
And it has high loyalty to begin with.
Yeah.
So you can't really kill it with some random evasion guys.
2 questions from the chat. How many rounds before top 8? It's 6 rounds tomorrow.
It's 16 rounds total.
Yeah.
In the tournament plus the top 8. So 10 rounds today, 6 rounds tomorrow. We'll start with a draft tomorrow at 8, I think.
Yes.
And then
early
3
in the
rounds.
morning.
Yeah, sometime early in the morning. So start with the drafts and then 3 rounds of that, and then 3 rounds of standard leading into the top 8.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we do not have the ability to cover a person's drafts, so we can't peek over someone's shoulder as he's picking. Unfortunately.
No.
So we can take a look at either of the slides that we have prepared for Esper or Black Devotion. The Esper control is plays like the classic control decks of good old times, where you just answer the cards 1 for 1, and then you take it over with drawing massive cards with like say Sphinx's Revelation, or some lists even play Divination.
We saw a Divination opportunity last round from Jens.
Yeah. He seems to be playing a slightly more blue-blackish version of Esper, we thought. Yep. We didn't see any Supreme Verdicts or so. Esper Control got an amazing finisher in Elspeth.
Yes.
Yeah.
It already had an amazing finisher in Enderling, but Elspeth just does that extra thing that can just close off some games, as well as have the utility that we were talking about in the match against between Mats MD and Jonathan Erling.
Yeah.
Where the Elspeth would have actually been a Wrath effect against the rats.
Yeah.
That we see here.
From
on the screen
the
now.
Devotion Black, if the rats ever get up to 4/4, you can just plop down Elspeth and get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
And the Devotion Black has kind of the same idea as the Esper Control, trading 1-for-1 and grinding away with card advantage like Erebos and World Connections. But it also has a very aggressive plan with the Life-Bane zombies and the pack rats. Which is, like, pack rat in itself is also a very resilient threat, hard to deal with for control decks.
Especially against the other creature decks.
Yeah.
Like the blue Devotion needs to have the Cyclonic Rift to even handle it.
Yeah.
And they're usually not running that many.
Yeah.
And the only sweeper other than from the Esper deck is Mission Mortars.
Yeah.
And so if you're playing like in the mirror or against a green player or similar, the pack rats just become so incredibly powerful if you can just create a copy.
Yeah.
To just keep it on board at all times.
Yeah.
Then it can close out matches so simply.
Yeah. And also it creates kind of a synergy with the whip as well, because you gain life from blocking and attacking with your huge guys, but also in the control matchups, when they finally dealt with your last rat, you just bring the rat back for one with a whip for one turn, and you make a copy of it and keep riding that copy to victory. So
yeah.
So resilience is the word for the day, I think, among standard decks.
Yeah, it's a lot different from the standard meta that we had earlier this year.
Yeah.
Even like just before Theros, with the Grand Prix Warsaw decks and things like that, where there were a lot more like glass cannons, I guess you would call it, with decks like
Gruul and Mono Red and
Gruul, maybe not Mono Red, but Gruul and the
Naya Humans,
Aura decks and, and Naya Blitz and things like that, where they're pretty much puts it all on the line. I'm going for a W right here, right now.
Do you have an answer?
Try and stop me. Oh, you managed to stop me. Find a new win. You could have stopped me. Great, and I win.
Yeah.
This format seems much more grindy and favorable to mid-range decks.
Yeah.
More like the Black Control deck and to some extent even the Blue Devotion.
Yeah.
The pure aggro decks, as we've seen them in the red one, even run some high-end stuff.
Yeah, the Devotion red, he has like the Ember Swallower and the Dragon.
Yeah, but it's still like tops out at 5 mana.
Yeah.
And then you need to have Nykthos to even do anything.
Henrik takes
like Jonathan
mulligan.
Keeps his.
Yeah, he's at least thinking about it.
Yeah.
And how happy do you think Jon Wafatapa was when he saw Elspeth? Like,
he probably did a little dance.
Yeah,
It's
I think so as well. many of the cards in control decks are there to like serve multiple purposes, but never have there been a sweeper and a finisher split card.
That is true. That is true. Not that I can think of, at least. I guess it would be Crashing Bumpus, or that would be the closest thing you could get to it.
Yeah.
Because that was definitely a sweeper and a finisher.
So, a 6-card hand.
I'm going to disturb you guys.
Okay.
I talked to the judges.
Yeah.
And if the head judge allows it, we will maybe be able to follow a draft.
Oh, there is a possibility for peeking over the shoulder of someone.
We'll get back to you later today with an answer to that, and give you a time for the start tomorrow, if that is the case.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can just go to the Playoteket schedule to see when the time is when the tournament is supposed to start tomorrow.
Yeah. Swamp Thoughtseize. That's a good start.
Perfect start for the black deck.
Yeah.
Looking at a hand of 5 lands, Syncopate and Sphinx Revelation here is. Henrik has to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he's as happy as Guillaume off the top in an Esper deck. So I suppose that the Sphinx Revelation goes away here. Maybe Henrik feels that he has enough of a fast hand that the Sphinx Revelation won't matter.
Seems like he might.
Yeah.
And even the Sphinx Revelation, he could, even if he's sitting on a second Thoughtseize that he wants to play in a couple of turns, then that's fine, but...
Jonathan keeps no secrets. He plays the Scryland that he drew. Henrik plays Scryland of his own and keeps the card on top. Was that maybe the second Sphinx Revelation he drew there? Take 2. Here comes Lifebane Zombie, maybe? No, Nightfield Spectre.
Why would he have Lifebane Zombie?
I have no idea. It was like the first three casting drop that came to mind. But you are entirely correct. This seems much more...
Nightfield Spectre is a good pull here.
Yeah.
A turn 3 Nightfield Spectre against a hand that Jonathan could see, or that Henrik could see, that Jonathan had, is definitely something that makes him happy.
Yeah.
And a second Nightfield Spectre in hand as well. Well, a third as well.
And a third, but not anymore.
Discarded by Thoughtseize. This...
Henrik eager to take his turn, but Jonathan stops him. Hey, I actually want to play a land this turn.
Yeah.
This may maybe not be so important for your deck, but I like playing my lands. So all we need to peel is a blue land here for Henrik to actually be able to Detention Sphere something out of his mono black deck.
He plays out the Mutavault and the second Nightfield Spectre.
Yeah.
We'll see if Jonathan has found a
verdict here. It would be very good.
And he has.
Oh my.
Always has the right cards.
Yeah. He's so lucky that Jonathan Bergström.
But he had some scries, and
and when you say some scries, you actually mean one. And there was the Thoughtseize for the other for the Sphinx Revelation. And
leaving Jonathan empty now with just lands is of course puts Henrik in a good position with the Mutavault in play.
But it's not that backbreaking, because this is kind of what Bergström wants to do anyway. He just plays lands and then
play lands, find something that does
something
anything that does anything more than just dirtling around. With just 2 power in play. It's not a very fast lock. Of course, the Underworld Connection really puts the pressure on Jonathan to produce something here, since Henrik will just overwhelm him with cards.
Draw an extra card a turn fairly quickly, matches up to Sphinx Revelation. or rather, it takes a fairly long time for Sphinx's Revelation to match up with the draw and an extra card a turn from turn 5.
Yeah.
And here
so Hero's Downfall takes care of Mutavault at least.
And here comes Jace for Jonathan.
That'll do as a card advantage. So.
Yeah. I have my own Underworld connections here. Ish.
Quick and easy verdict here for Jonathan.
Yeah.
I'm sure he has all the lands he needs at this point.
Yeah. Henrik keeps drawing here.
They are 4-2.
Going into this.
No, 4-1.
4-1 going in.
Yeah, 4-1 going into this round. There's only 2 players at 5-0. It's Jonathan Erling and Christopher Niemi who are duking it out as we speak. There's plenty of players on 4-1 though.
Yeah.
With the top 14 players at 12 points or more.
There's plenty of spells in Henrik's hand, not so much lands though. Or? Am I just miscounting? Oh yeah, he got a land destroyed.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I like the play of the second Underworld connection.
He's pretty much just playing into a detention sphere.
Yeah,
sure, there's one gone from
Nightfield Spectre.
From Nightfield Spectre, but it's still pretty risky.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the fact is also that the only thing that answers an Underworld connection is detention sphere.
Yeah. Sure, he gets to draw 1 card now.
Yeah.
Which we know he will, and that might actually be worth it, just to get it out there.
Yeah.
And maybe force it out of Jonathan.
Yeah.
The detention sphere. He has drawn 3 or 4 cards from the first one at this point.
Jonathan takes the Blood Baron. And speaking of resilient threats, in this matchup, that's a pretty resilient threat.
And another on top.
Yeah.
You gotta believe that Henrik doesn't have any of the addict effects still in the deck, so this is pretty much this Blood Baron is most likely just gonna stick to the board.
Oh, maybe Jonathan played an extra land here.
Yeah, he already played a Square land and he tried to play another swamp.
Oh, okay.
So, but Henrik stopped him.
Yeah. Okay.
There will be no exploration on my time.
So maybe Henrik has Elspeth for now for the Blood Barons.
I wouldn't put him on playing Elspeth. I pretty much just think the white is for Blood Barons.
Yeah, and the Scrylands.
Yeah, well, the Scrylands he could probably play anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
Since he has the Godless Shrines, just splashing for Blood Barons for the mirror match is definitely viable.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah. You're right.
In the deck.
I gain 4 life, and you're on 4. Now, do you have an answer for both my Blood Barons here?
Just one counter in Jonathan's hand here is more than enough that he.
Yeah.
So even if he would have Elspeth, which I highly doubt he has.
Yeah.
I mean,
he has.
He has a Grey Merchant.
Grey Merchant. He might be able to stay alive.
It's still just 6, and then he couldn't even. Well, if he has a land, he can also block with the Mutavault. But Jonathan isn't going any. Jonathan's life isn't going down fast enough for this to be a viable course of play here. But he's still gonna do it.
He goes up to 10 right now, I think. Because he took 4 from the Blood Baron, right?
No, I think he is at 8.
He is at 8, okay.
Yeah. But no, wait.
I think he was at 8 before the Blood Baron attacked.
Yeah, I think he is at 12 now.
I think he's at 10 now. And now he's down at 2.
So he can't even draw from both of his unrolled connections.
No. So
resilient threats deck.
Yes, exactly.
It's amazing how little the Esper deck has changed since Return to Ravnica was released.
Yeah.
Like the threats that it's gotten has become better.
Yeah.
But the deck plays so similar. We get a peek at Henrik's hand, and it's just lands and a Hero's Downfall.
6 lands and a Hero's Downfall.
So it's not very lucky.
No.
So Jonathan wins this
and proceeds to 5-1. I think the Blood Barons kind of sidestepped Henrik a little. He wasn't prepared for them.
Looking at the deck, you don't really want to keep any of the random removal that doesn't really do anything other than just kill a guy.
Yeah.
And
you only keep Hero's Downfall.
Yeah, you would definitely take out the Devour Flesh.
Yeah.
Since it really doesn't do anything, and the first game which Jonathan won with Elspeth really makes it a bad card.
Yeah.
So actually bringing in the Blood Barons always seems like the better play.
Yeah.
Which was also the plan in Block Constructed with Blood Barons, that since they are so resilient, and like the only cards that actually kills it is the Divine Verdict and
Far and Away.
And Edict effects.
Yeah.
As such, but that kills it for sure is Divine Verdict and Mystery Mortars.
Yeah.
That you can actually target. All the other burn spells just burn for 3 or 2, so you don't really get there. So you just need the mortars, or you need an Edict effect on an empty board, or a sweeper in a verdict.
Do we have a backup feature match?
No, but Jonathan is on his way.
Jonathan is on the way. You wanna do the interview? I talk with him daily.
I don't care.
Okay. Oh, I'll just scooch over and we'll pummel him together.
Well, he's not here yet.
Yeah. And in just a short while, we will be having a talk with Jonathan. Or no? Yes, maybe? Is he on his way? No. It was also the interesting part is if Henrik decides to keep in his Devour Flesh, sure he has an answer to the Blood Baron, but apart from that, they are horrendous in the matchup. So even if he counts on Henrik keeping them in, it's... Yes? Hello, we're asking you a couple of questions in English, unfortunately.
Okay.
So, it seems that double Blood Baron wins versus the black deck.
Who would have known?
Who would have known?
Who would have known?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're playing any answers, really.
He has a Devour Flesh main deck, but
okay.
We were just discussing that he can't really keep them in because they're generally so bad in the matchup.
Yeah. I guess he took them out.
Yeah. So if you bring in Blood Barons here and still counting on him keeping them in, you're still in a favorable position because, well, you might just win with Elspeth instead.
Well, I've never played the matchup, so I don't know. I figured he plays black-white. That's protection.
Yes.
Probably a good card. I don't know.
You read your cards.
Yeah.
So, how have you gone with the deck so far?
I am 3-0.
Oh, had any interesting matches?
I have. My green-white opponent had me dead on board for the match.
Yes.
He had a 3-3, a random 3-3 and a 2-1, and played, and I tapped out for Blood Baron, and with me at 6 life.
Yes.
And he plays a Johnny.
The double striker?
Yeah, and gives his 3-3 double strike and the flying. Yeah. And then he attacks with both creatures.
Thank you very much.
So I can block the 2 and keep myself alive.
Yeah, gains for life of the Blood Baron.
Yeah. So yeah, that was I was ready to extend my hand, but we attacked with both. Okay, a block.
So, no block. So I'm guessing you're happy with the deck.
I am. I know. I was really scrambling for cards down to the last minute, so I'm not. I don't know my list. 100% because I had to I grabbed this card and then I grabbed this card
and switch them out.
Yeah. So looks good.
Has it resulted in any spicy techs?
Well, all of the cards you can play are kind of similar.
Yeah.
There are some counters, and they counter spell, and they do it, but in a few different ways. So I had one dissolve, and then I have syncopate. Okay. But syncopate is good on turn 2. So
yeah.
I don't know.
If people are planning on bringing back their creatures with the whip, the syncopate becomes much better, of course.
Yeah, of course. I don't know if you saw that match, the first game, on the first match, when he attacked with the Blood Baron with the whip.
Yes.
You easily could have missed that it was 10-10 at the time.
Yeah.
Because he was exactly 30 life and I was 9, so just figured out, play the Revelation before damage, not end of turn.
Yes.
We used it.
Yeah. We were actually discussing that. We thought we saw another Sphinx Revelation in your hand. We thought maybe you were dead or maybe you weren't.
I actually think I had a charm, a Sawyer charm.
So you could have given your
guy's
lifelink?
I could have given my guy's lifelink.
In the turn before?
Yeah. It was a moment where you easily could have messed it up and died.
Unfortunately you didn't.
But I did.
So how difficult is... what are the difficult matchups, you think?
I've heard the mono black is hard.
Okay.
I don't know. I guess it's hard if they resolve underworld connections and stuff, which they easily can do because they play discard and I don't have that many counters. But I don't know. Mono red is probably pretty hard. I played a mono red deck as well, and I won. But I was pretty lucky.
Okay.
Maybe. The Blood Baron. Lifted some weight of matches there.
This guy has lifelink. I will be needing life in this matchup.
Yeah.
What did you think when he thought to see turn 1 on game 2 when he showed Sphinx Revelation, Syncopate and Lands?
Well, I knew. When I keep a hand against a black deck, I kind of
count on your best card being discarded.
They will probably play a discard spell.
Yeah.
So, I keep a hand with good mana, and then we'll see how it works out. I can't. So, I was fine either way. Had he discarded the Revelation, I probably would have drawn another sooner or later. It's not so. But I figured when he took the Syncopate, I figured he probably has underworld connections.
Or some kind of hand that needs an answer from your part.
Yeah.
And you also ripped the Divine Verdict very skillfully.
The Supreme Verdict.
Yeah, Supreme Verdict.
Well, I had it. I drew it the turn before, so I didn't draw it up at the top when he played the second. But I wasn't top deck mode. He knew I had nothing, so I had to draw. But I did.
And that's the only thing you can do, because he's already discarded everything you have. So
yeah, but I mean the deck is it has a lot of good top decks. I mean, lots of good cards to draw. So I don't really mind getting my hand discarded as long as he doesn't have two threatening creatures. Because the top deck's better than any other deck, I believe.
Seems fair. What did you board out?
I boarded out Thoughtseize. I wasn't sure because I figured most cards were pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I took out the Thoughtseize because I don't know. I don't like to draw more than one.
Yeah.
And I boarded out, I think, some removal. Definitely, I boarded out one. What's it called? Ultimate Price? Because I think I run one. And another removal spell. I don't know. Maybe a Wrath, but I don't think. I think it was actually a Hero's Downfall.
Okay. So.
And I brought in the three big dudes that wasn't in play at the turn.
Yeah. It was. I saw when you scribed the land. I think he will be keeping that one on top as well. Yeah. It's like kind of like when you sideboard in limited, it's like all my cards are kind of good, but then when you sideboard in standard, it's more like all my cards are kind of bad.
All the removal is kind of bad because there's always some limitation to it.
Exactly, there's a specific something that
it could be a mana cost or the. There's always something you can't target.
Okay, I'll let you go for now. Good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Thank you. See you and good luck to you.
Thank you.